Hey, my wonderful sweet baby. So, today I want to talk to you guys about the ban on TikTok in the United States. So, I feel like a lot of us were all in denial, especially the way that the whole ban went down. But officially, last night at around, I would say, close to 7 o'clock, maybe 7:30 ish, the app was officially banned. Due to the fact that I tried to do as much scrolling as I possibly could, I accidentally forgot to download a lot of people's videos in regards to the matter. So I will try to do my best with as many screenshots as well as stills to kind of keep you guys in the loop of everything that went down last night. So, in the midst of the, alleged ban, Congress decided to speak out, and here's what they were saying. They said that pretty much the TikTok going dark situation or the ban was considered a stunt and that it shouldn't have pretty much went down without the next form of power being in office, which is Donald Trump. So here were their exact words. It says, "It is a stunt, and we see no reason for TikTok or other companies to take action in the next few days before the Trump administration takes office on Monday." MSNBC quotes Jean Pierre as saying, "We have laid out our position clearly and straightforwardly. Actions to implement this law will fall to the next administration, so TikTok and other companies should take up any concerns with them." So as time went on, we were hearing things that instead of getting the ban to happen at midnight of the 18th, or pretty much the 19th midnight, the ban was supposed to happen at 8:30 p.m. EST time, which is pretty much Eastern Standard Time. And for a lot of us Californians, we didn't even get, that full 8 o'clock PST time. We got, 6:30 to 5:30 PST time. So at first, I was able to just casually keep scrolling at around 5:30, and I was looking at it like, "Oh, okay, well, it appears that right now, nothing's happening." So I just was on the app like nothing ever happened. Then gradually the app started to get a little funky. It started glitching out. No notifications started coming in, and I was like, "Okay, I know that usually I get notifications coming in, so something is clearly happening." And then the first initial message that we got was this one here that's on the screen. I'm going to blow it up so I can read it to you guys. So here's what the notice said. It said, "Important update from TikTok. We regret that a U.S. law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned." So a lot of us, including myself, was just like, I know they ain't talking to me. So I just dismissed that and I kept scrolling. And I was able to do so at first. I hopped on a few lives to watch people count down the hours because a lot of the functions on the app were actually slowly but surely breaking down. So I just hopped on some lives, watched a few of my faves, scrolled a little bit more to see any updates that, if people were still able to kind of use the functions of the app and how people's reactions were to, everything that was going down. And, at first everything was decent, but we can clearly see that the app was breaking down. Like it was slowly but surely not being able to function. So then all of a sudden, I get off of the app for a split second just to, do something else. And the next thing you know, we get this message here that appears on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and blow this up so I can go ahead and read this for you guys. So we got this new message that said, "Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned." At this point, we weren't getting any indication to do any other things but to close the app. And now, if you click on the app, you get the same message and the screen is completely black. Like you can't do absolutely anything. At first, you could get a little glimpse of some videos playing in the background and maybe try to, like, know, maneuver your way through to kind of watch a little. No, you're not getting none of that now. You're just getting a black screen in this message. So I was curious to see what I would get if I searched up TikTok in the search engine, and this is pretty much what we get here. As you guys can see, the first thing that pops up is Instagram there with the silly ass update. And then we also have this message at the top of the screen that says TikTok and other ByteDance apps are not available in the country or region you're in. And then we have a learn more. So let's go ahead and click on that. And then it pretty much just brings us here to learn about all these different TikTok apps and different, you know, apps in general that are related to ByteDance that are no longer available in the United States. So I'm just going to scroll through so you guys can see what it is that we are getting. But yeah, as of right now, this is literally what we're getting. And these are all the apps that are related to ByteDance or even in the TikTok umbrella that are just banned in the United States. And as stated before, you guys, here is a still of the app Lemon 8. And you can see we're getting very similar messages. I'm going to go ahead and blow that up so I can read that for you guys as well. So we quite literally got the same message saying, sorry, Lemonade isn't available right now. A law banning Lemonade has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use Lemonade for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate Lemonade once he takes office. Please stay tuned. And CapCut, it literally was no different. I'm going to blow it up so you guys can see it in full. So you guys can see we literally get the same message here for CapCut. And I'm not going to lie, CapCut really effed up the city with this one because I used to use this app for my long form content here on YouTube to edit all my videos and stuff. And I was really starting to get good at using this app. But now I have to use InShot, which I believe is under the same umbrella as, Instagram, Facebook, Meta, all that other kind of stuff. So just very unfortunate and, very selfish for the money grubbing people that are under the Meta umbrella. So before this whole information came out, I went to Bougie Brownskin's Instagram live and I asked the question of, did anybody try using a VPN? And people were saying, oddly enough, that they weren't able to use a VPN. And you know how people are, they start spamming things and, everybody just starts repeating after themselves. So I was like, okay, well, maybe, either people are lying or maybe it's not able for you to use a VPN. But then, this comes forth and it says that users cannot access TikTok using a VPN. And it's from Spiritual Word. And I mean, I kind of take their word for what they say, so I'm assuming that maybe somebody from there tried it and they were unsuccessful. So the government pretty much said, like, y'all could VPN for TV shows and movies and, everything else that y'all can't pay for. But when it comes to TikTok, baby, not so fast, which I think is actually quite crazy because I'm talking about years upon years, people have RIP'd out and, next thing you know, you could still use VPNs and get away with watching your favorite shows, movies, things like that, and not have to pay for it. But yet, when it comes to TikTok, they said absolutely the freak not. And then, when I woke up this morning to, check to see what all was going on, as if we've asked this man to do anything else, Elon Musk comes forth and says that he's looking into bringing Vine back. Now, you guys, Vine has been gone for so many years, and I'm sure that we all will still hop on the app if Elon Musk does decide to put his hand in it. But why is he feeling like he needs to do this all of a sudden? Like, I feel like at this point, it's honestly looking like he's just trying to throw his money around because no one even asked him to do this. And you know what? Let's just get into my thoughts. So, here's my thoughts. When it comes to this TikTok ban, this is absolutely ridiculous. It just still blows me that, they felt like this app was a literal threat to the American people, when in reality, the only threat to the American people is the government. Allegedly, child. I don't want them to do nothing to take my shit. It's just crazy because I've been on Red Note and, I've been watching people's videos of talking about Red Note, and it's just like night and day. Like the differences that we've been able to see from the people over in China compared to how we're living is absolutely insane. And what I think is even more of a statement at this point is that people from like the UK and people from Germany, they actually migrated and went over to Red Note as well, just like, when we were all on TikTok. So it's like, honestly and unfortunately, it's like this is terrible for the US Americans that were using TikTok and that found some sort of outlet out of TikTok and that used it for business and used it for income and everything else. But at the same time, I feel like this is honestly starting to put us in a portion of where we see some sort of world peace. We have been, divided as a nation, as a world, for I would say millenniums. And, now all of a sudden we get this whole shift. And now, as people, we're seeing things from different walks of life and we're seeing things from, different perspectives, different language barriers, and we're all just trying to make it work. And we're seeing people from different countries actually being there for Americans because they know how upset we are about this situation. And instead of them using this as an aha moment, they're kind of like, I'm here in support of them. Of course, they're joking around like, oh, I'm just here to, watch the Americans and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. But I feel like it's a silly way for them lightheartedly to say, like, I'm here standing with you guys. And I'm not gonna lie, that's very sweet and that's very caring. Like, they right now are doing their big one with being supportive, and they're doing their big one with welcoming us on the Red Note app. And I feel like Red Note is definitely not going to fill the shoes of TikTok, but it may just be a little something to kind of bring us some sort of world peace, because I've seen a lot of people that are very like happy that we are on that app. But now let me talk about funky ass Elon Musk. No one asked him to buy Vine. No one asked him to try to be the hero in this situation. It's almost like him and Trump are competing at this point of who's going to win over the heart of the American people. And Elon's like, "Well, I'll bring back Vine." And Trump's like, "Well, I'll make sure that TikTok comes back and we get an extension so then they can do what's best for the American people so we could both seem like heroes." And it's just like nobody is asking for either of you to do this. If Trump never would have sat there and initiated this ban, Biden wouldn't have signed off on it, and then we wouldn't have lost it, and then we wouldn't have to have him come back and try to, bring it back for us. And I feel like because of TikTok getting all this shine and Elon Musk saying that so many people were like, oh my God, now I have to go back to Twitter, or, I have to go back to Instagram. Now he's trying to be like, oh, well, I can also do something great and bring back Vine. And it's like, no one asked you to even do that either. This whole situation is a mess, you guys, but we just got to take it one step at a time. I honestly feel like TikTok will be back here, maybe not at the beginning of next week. We may have to wait a few days after this man is inaugurated. And then I feel like we'll possibly see TikTok come back. I haven't deleted any of my apps either, just simply because I'm just like, I don't want any kind of changes. I just want to keep the app on my thing because I don't want to have issues with trying to re-download it. So I'm just going to keep it there and just hope for the best when the app comes back. And for all the people that are saying TikTok didn't affect them, it's because you're content and complacent where you are, and you'll never see any success in doing anything where you actually have to strive for greatness to be yourself. You're content being a 9 to 5 girl. And ain't nothing wrong with that, just like ain't nothing wrong with TikTok. But that's my opinion. What's yours?